Trump drops the hammer. Claims that now this group is a domestic terror group, Antifa. This is a great move. We should have done this years and years and years ago. I hope he does it for the international side too, because I think there's money flowing to him through all forms and fashions. Now, what this will do is this will help stop a lot of their funding. We're going to discuss that and why this is important. Also, we're going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel getting fired or, canceled indefinitely. Why is this different than conservatives getting canceled? This is a big discussion that's happening and debate, and I'm going to talk about it and tell you exactly what my thoughts are on it and why his is okay and maybe mine as a conservative person on YouTube is not. We'll discuss why, because there is a big, big, big difference, and it deals with mainstream and the platforms they have and how they're tied to the government. We'll discuss that. Also, the escalation is happening. There was, we talk about Israel moving into Gaza. You hear all that. Of course, you hear bad players, good players, all this stuff. They just came out and said their defense strategy is over. They're looking to go on the offense. Also, at the same time, Russia says they have hired and brought in more troops to renew because they're going on the offense. So you're now seeing a situation where both of them were more of a stagnated spot. We thought they were in offense. What they were actually saying is we're just sitting back until the time. Now, both said they're going full force. What's going to take place is peace coming to these regions and how much of our federal funding is going towards it. That's the key. Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to keep on paying for all this to take place when we're broke in our nation? And then lastly, something's not adding up. You will never believe AI detected and what they said about the letter of Charlie Kirk's assassin and his whatever boyfriend. You'll be blown away at what this letter that he wrote, this text string, what AI said about it. What this proves is there could be a whole lot more to the story than we know. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new, please go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that's okay, but let us know what you think about the content of today's video. Remember, check us out, of course, on the second channel, Life with Kobe Mack. Also, remember, we just got our Facebook and Instagram back. TikTok, I don't know if they're going to come back to us. They say we break community guidelines too much, so I guess we're just getting canceled on there for sure. But go check us out on these other platforms, Facebook, Kobe Mack, and then Twitter, of course, is The Colby Mac, and then Instagram, Real Colby Mac. Check those out because we share a lot of our sustainable prepping items and how we do life as a family, and you see it. So we want you to be a part of that. So go check that out. Now, let's jump into the stories of the day because that's why you're here. First, let's talk about the escalations, and then we're going to move into Trump, and then we'll talk about what's not adding up with this situation. So first, the escalations. I want to read two comments that just came out from Russia and also Israel. We thought, of course, Ukraine is losing land. Gaza situation is pretty much Israel can do what they want, which is a good thing because they're taking back their land too. No matter what side of the aisle you're on both of these situations, we would have said that Russia and Israel are both winning these wars. Now, they both just admitted, in different situations, have nothing to do with each other, but they both just admitted that they were both on defense. Listen to what was just said. Russia is adding 16,000 more troops for renewed offense as little as 10 days. They are looking to go on the offense for the next week going into Ukraine. That is a big move compared to what they've been doing. At the same time, New York Post put this out, says that Israel came out and stated that now is the time that Israel to pursue a shift in its defense doctrine. Its only way to stop Hamas from rebuilding is to go on the offense. Now, both of those situations impact us. Why, Colby? They're across the world. What does it matter? You know why it matters? Because your tax dollars are going to pay in both situations. On both sides. Isn't that funny? Do you know that California buys gas from Russia? At the same time, we're funding Ukraine. So we're supporting both sides of the war. Okay, so Israel and Gaza. You know we are a major proponent and supporter of Israel. So we've helped them with aid and defense. At the same time, we're helping with food aid and goods for Gaza, and it goes through the UN. So we're funding both sides. So what I'm saying is these escalations will cost you more in the long run. I don't want troops deployed, not at all. But I also don't want our dollars deployed. You see, we always want to talk about the troop deployment. That's a big deal. I don't even want our dollars deployed. We're broke. And we're actually at a final time where the big beautiful bill actually has now been readjusted to where there is a surplus coming. There actually is money coming in from the tariffs. And why do we want to make a new line out item to send our money that we have earned over to other countries? It makes no sense. Now, do I support Israel? Absolutely. Do I want peace in Russia and Ukraine? Absolutely. But it should not take our tax dollars to do it. It should take, hopefully, negotiations and pressure. But to be honest with you, Trump can put all the pressure he wants, but when you have Congress and Senate funding it and sending money like a crazy teenager, blowing it because they have a big credit card, then nothing is going to get done. So we have to pay attention to this and why it matters. These two escalations not only could, of course, put us in a bigger world war, for sure, with troops on the ground, but the biggest concern right now is the dollars that are being sent. Now, I know everybody's, oh, well, some of this is going to defense contractors and they're housed in America and they make Americans work. Great. Let's just make those weapons for here then. We could do the same thing and just provide them for here as our stockpile. Because remember, there was a word at the end of the Biden administration that said that our stockpiles are completely depleted because of what we have sent to Ukraine. So why don't we just spend the money, but keep it here at home? I think that would be more wiser, and I think more Americans would be on board for that. So watch these two escalations. You hear that they were both on defense, and they both said within the next week to 10 days, they're going on the offense. What does that actually mean? What does that look like? And how does that affect us as taxpayers? You know what's so funny? The tax rebate that I was supposed to get this year because I paid in too much because they overtaxed me, do you know I still haven't got mine? It's amazing how they take our money, then they take too much money, then they don't give it back, and then they send our money overseas, and I still get a letter stating that they're working on my return from 2024, by the way. It is now September, mid-September, almost the last quarter of the year, and I still haven't gotten the return. Now, is that a big deal? Well, it could be, but the bottom line is it shows that our government is pretty crappy on doing some things, and the last thing we want to do is spend hundreds of billions of dollars sending it overseas. Now, before we go any further, a word from today's sponsor, Chapter. Now, Chapter has been with me for the last few months. You're starting to get closer to the open enrollment. A lot of people are talking about Medicare right now. A lot of people are trying to figure out what's the best plan, what's the big supplement. I promise you, my dad was on the phone with his Medicare rep for over 3 hours dealing with the bill. And he said, I should have learned my lesson to know that government doesn't do things easy. And then these agents just want commissions. Well, here's the best thing about Chapter. Chapter comes alongside you. They advise you on the best plans that could fit for you. It's personally for you. Their goal is to make sure that you save as much money and get the best plan for you. And guess what? Their services are free. F-R-E-E. They're free. So please call this number below. You're getting close to the time where this matters the most when it comes to open enrollment. But if you're 65 and older or about to be, call them. I promise you, when a lot of people think they know the answers, Chapter does. Look at the testimonials. I've gotten email after email after comment about how they've helped so many of our viewers. The average American and the average person that uses Chapter saves $1,100. That's a lot of money. Check with Chapter today. Let them help you, guide you to the right plan that could best benefit you and your family. Call Chapter today. Now I want to mention this Jimmy Kimmel thing. ABC suspends Jimmy Kimmel live indefinitely after Charlie Kirk remarks that he made. Basically, what he did is he just kind of covered up the whole situation. Now, why is this different, and why are the Republicans happy about this after they got in cancel culture? You know, I just told you that I'm still banned off. I'm still not getting any views on TikTok, and to be honest with you, I was cut off a lot of platforms. A lot of conservatives were. Why is this a difference? Well, here's the difference. When you are representing networks like ABC, NBC, Fox News, CBS, big organizations that have guidelines by the government because of your penetration in the market, you have certain guidelines you have to stipulate and stay to. Now, I'm just a little old guy in Mississippi, but for some reason I must have rubbed somebody wrong because I had been censored and ghosted for a long time on several platforms. You see this all the time with Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, Ben Shapiro. You see this with a bunch of big podcasters getting the same treatment that they've had. There was a time where Charlie Kirk was not able to be on Fox News. There's times where these organizations ghost the conservative side. The difference in this situation is now you have talking heads for these channels that are spouting out propaganda. And that is not what someone should be doing. He is a comedian, but he was very insensitive in his topics. And if you notice, he is definitely more of a pundit now than he is a comedian. Now here's another thing. Did you see the ABC guy yesterday, how he was talking about the love story between Tyler and his lover, the furry, and how that was just something unique about that. He was trying to build this up as a massive love story. It's like it's going to be a movie plot. It's scary. So what you're seeing is these journalists and these comedians and these people that are representing these networks now become just political hacks because they don't like Donald Trump. That's really all this comes down to. The reason Jimmy Kimmel hates the situation, the reason he's become more liberalized, more radicalized in his views to be a leftist is because he cannot stand Donald Trump and anyone who supports that. Now, do you have free speech? Absolutely. Jimmy Kimmel could go right now and have free speech, dog out Trump, dog out Charlie, dog out anybody he wants to. But when he has a brand on the back of him that says you can't do that or you have to watch what you say, there may be consequences for free speech. I could go in here and spew very, very vitriolous things that are untrue. I have free speech to do that, but it would ultimately lose my audience or I would be canceled because it's falsities. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't even want to do that. So if all of a sudden someone's wearing a monster brand and a monster tie to the government, then propaganda and insensitivity with your free speech comes with consequences. They didn't say you can't have it. They're just saying you can't have it here. So here's the key. I love that this took place. Actually, I think it's so, I don't believe in karma, but I do believe in irony. And I think it's absolutely funny that he made fun of Trump getting canceled for so long. That he would just lambaste him. And now he's the one that's going to be the Walmart greeter. Because ultimately, he is the one that stuck his foot in his own mouth. So I think this is a great thing. I love that ABC and CBS and Fox News, even though they hate Trump, they know that the FCC is ran by Trump, and they know they've seen lawsuits with New York Times, they've seen lawsuits with CBS, and Trump has won them. So they're like, we're not playing stupid games to win stupid prizes. Jimmy Kimmel, you're gone indefinitely until we put you through some kind of training to not talk like this. I love it. Now to the serious issues. Let's talk about Trump and what he just did with Antifa, and that rolls right into one of the last stories dealing with what is not adding up and why AI may have just proved this whole thing is debunked. I mean, mind-blowing. Please stay tuned to that. Now listen to what Trump said. Trump just came out and declared that Antifa is now a terror group after the Kirk tragedy. President Trump announced on Wednesday via the White House Twitter account and his Truth Social platform that he is designating Antifa as a terror group. The declaration follows the Charlie Kirk tragedy. Trump attributes the far-left extremism and includes calls for federal investigations into, here it is, this is the key, listen to this, Antifa's alleged funders. You're going to realize, I'm going to blow your mind here. You're going to realize you are the one funding it. You're going to realize your tax dollars, just like it was paying for the Taliban like we talked about yesterday, you're going to realize you are the funders through George Soros, through all the NGOs, the quote-unquote nonprofits, that community action support that we've been doing, all this garbage. You're going to realize we have been paying for these people to protest and riot. Watch. If you doubt me, just watch. Alleged funders. Legal experts question the move of validity, noting U.S. laws typically allow for such designation of foreign groups. Antifa lacks formal structure, while supporters praise its response as domestic violence. It is that. And here's why I believe that you need to crack down on this. Free speech, again, no problem with free speech. When free speech has action, that's the problem. Free speech. But when action takes place, and not only action, but action to harm another American, that's the problem. That's what you've seen. Also, the destruction of buildings, federal buildings. All this is Antifa. Have you looked at the streets of Portland lately? They're still having these problems. Have you looked at Seattle, Washington? Have you looked at these big cities where this anarchy movement of Antifa is destroying the cities? Well, I mean, they're damaging property. That is terror against American soil. They're pushing troops. They're pushing police. They're harming them. What are we doing? Yes, they should be considered domestic terrorists. Now, here's why this is important. Right here, the funders. When someone is considered a domestic terror, they get more scrutiny, more views, more eyeballs. Just kind of like what the Operation Arctic Storm was doing yesterday to conservatives, where they had more eyeballs on people like TPUSA and on conservatives like Daily Wire and Gateway Pundit and all these others. More eyeballs. More eyeballs, plus what Trump said last week about George Soros and how he's going to go after him. You're going to realize very, very, very soon that your Republican congressmen, along with Democrats, have been passing money, throwing it out of your wallet into these NGOs and into these foundations and into these nonprofits. And they're going to funnel that money all the way down to these Antifa rallies, to these protests, to these riots. I promise you, when you see the money trail, it's going to blow your mind. Just bookmark this page. Bookmark this video, because I promise you're going to realize that a lot of the money that they're getting paid is not paid from the biggest liberal donors. What it is paid through foundations, non-profits, and also government NGOs. You wait. And I say government NGOs, even though NGO stands for non-government entity, basically, or organization. Government has been funding NGOs for years. And those NGOs are funding and funneling down this style of leadership. I believe, I'm going to say this, please understand what I'm saying here. I believe government needs propaganda, just like Trump wanting to do the Smith-Mundt Act, but Johnson didn't want to. I believe government wants propaganda and funding of these things so they can keep order through the chaos, so they can retain power. That is true. Now that leads me to the last story. This is the one I want you to listen to. So, as tragic as all this is, it's scary because I don't think this guy acted alone. It's weird how the old man stood up, George Zinn, and said, "Shoot me, I'm the one that did it," all this. Allow for the guy to get away. It's weird how Discord and Reddit and some of these very anarcho-liberal websites are tied to a lot of these situations. Here's what's even weirder. So, and me and Misty have been talking about this a lot too, but now you're starting to see people question, is this stuff real? I mean, it's just too perfect. It's too perfect that this guy has write out this long text of what he's done and where he's put all this stuff and how he's tied to this and how he's doing it for him, and like it's too many perfected things in the text message. Now the guy's on suicide watch. He's going to face the death penalty. Will we ever know the truth? The guy's not talking. Someone took ChatGPT, AI platform, and put that text link, the Tyler text link to the weird boyfriend that dresses like an animal, about all the stuff. You can go back and read the whole text. It's very strange and demented. But they asked him, they said, is this what someone would do? Is this normality? Is this something that we would see in a text strain, or does this look like a movie script? ChatGPT came out and stated, this all looks fabricated. This does not look like a typical text between two either lovers or two people that are very close. He said, just like most text strains, there's different keywords, there's different cut phrases, there's different things that you say to each other, especially if you know each other well. For instance, like my wife and I, we can talk on message, and it can be very, 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 very abbreviated talking, and we know exactly what we're talking about because we've been doing that for 20-something years. We have read each other. We know each other. We know each other to the very T. Well, if these guys knew each other so well and he bragged on him so much, why do you think he's writing this long dissertation in this message? It came out that ChatGPT said, this looks like a movie script and scripted. This does not look like a real text exchange. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean this is just too perfect and this is the patsy? And this guy's just going to fall for it, and actually there's a lot of big players There's still not really any reason that they have not talked about the jet that privately flew away. There's reasons that they haven't talked about who's the Discord drop, who's doing the drop of the towel of the weapon used. We still don't know anything about that. We still don't know all of a sudden why this guy, his boyfriend or whatever you want to call him, is now just, I mean, he's like just goose. I mean, he is just pouring it on like it was all Tyler's deal, not his. But Tyler said he was doing it for him. There's a lot of weird things happening around this story. The weirdest is control. I want you to think back to the 60s. Think back to JFK. Think about RFK. Think about MLK. Every situation had a little bit of shadiness to it. Now it's all come out that there's a lot of shadiness to it. And it's tied to just basically people who were disestablishment wanting to make changes. Well, Charlie was that, and even bigger than ever before than any of those guys because of what social media has done in his presence. We're to a point where I'm scared that this is not just a single man doing this, that this is a way big operation. It may not be. Hopefully it's not. I hope nothing's to this other than a crazed lunatic. But I'm scared that some people on the conservative side are getting so big that they're making bigger inroads and bigger changes. I think Trump was that person. I think Elon was that person. I think RFK is that person. And I think Charlie was that person. There may be a few more on the list. But ultimately, what if someone doesn't want change and they want the status quo to keep on going? You take them out. MLK, he wanted change. They took him out. RFK, he went after mobsters. Went after government. They took him out. JFK, he wanted a different. He wanted peace. He wanted a disestablished government. Took him out. Sometimes I wonder, is there more to the story? When AI generated, which remember, Elon just came out and said that by 2030, AI will be smarter than humans, all humans. That's not good. I don't like it. But when AI comes out and states that this is completely scripted and that their AI gut feeling is telling them that this is completely false, we may actually want to listen to them at this point because I think there's a lot more to the story. Just my thoughts for the day, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Comment below. I love reading your comments. I go through them. I can't go through all of them, but I love reading your comments. I love, of course, you commenting on our videos, the positives, the negatives, but I love you talking amongst yourself. I love when people get into big conversations because what it does, it helps us grow together and be more wiser. Remember to go check me out on the other platforms so that way you can keep up with me all throughout the day. We're doing shorts every day. We're doing, of course, TikToks when they allow me to. We're posting pictures and videos, of course, on Facebook, Substack, and Twitter and Instagram. So please go check us out on the platforms. Guys, we love y'all so much and thank y'all for supporting us. God bless.